Yep, that's my representative, so-called representative, Angie Craig of the U.S. House. But it doesn't look like the U.S. House. It looks like the Ukrainian House of Representatives, as they're waving the Ukrainian flag and cheering as they voted for the America Last bill in the House that got passed. That's what I call it, America Last, because they're putting other nations first, the nation of Ukraine and the nation of the state of Israel, before the people of the United States. And a lot of people have called this, how they're waving their flags, the Ukrainian flag, that's treason. And I think that's fair, that it is treason, because what is treason? It is basically undermining your own country, and that's what this is doing, as the funding the wars in Ukraine and Israel undermine the safety of the United States, because it threatens to bring about like World War III, which of course would be very, very much undermining our country, as that could bring about a nuclear conflagration, and that threatens our safety of everybody. And I wrote Angie Craig that early on in the Ukrainian war, saying that it concerned me that this could lead to World War III and a nuclear war. And when she finally wrote back, she was very dismissive. I mean, she did not even address, even though most of the letter was all about the danger of nuclear war. She did not even address that point. She just flat out said, "Oh yeah, we will support Ukraine." She said that unequivocally, basically, using the power of Congress. And and that clip that I just played, she's that loud one that you can hear saying something about Ukraine in the House. I don't know exactly what she was saying, but yeah, that's her. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can see her, and I think that's her that's yelling about something about Ukraine in the House. It sounds like her, and I think seeing her lips move, I believe that is her. Unfortunately, that's my supposed representative in the U.S. House of Representatives, but it looks like the Ukrainian House of Representatives. They're showing their allegiance not to the United States of America, but to a foreign nation of Ukraine, and all it will do is prolong a war that never needed to happen in the first place. And even go back to April of 2022, there was a deal that was ready to go, ready to be signed by both Zelensky and Putin. They're both ready to sign a peace deal to end the whole thing way back in April of 2022. But what happened? Boris Johnson flew in as the messenger boy for NATO, and Boris basically ordered Zelensky not to sign the peace deal. So Boris Johnson, as the best messenger boy for NATO, scuttled the peace deal. So that resulted in so many lost lives, hundreds of thousands of lost lives, just totally senseless. We could have had peace, and but you don't hear about that on the mainstream media, mainstream press. Nobody talks about how we could have had peace over there in Ukraine, but there's this. I mean, I'm not going to go into my whole theories about why they're so bent on continuing this war. Is it just for keep the gravy train going for the military-industrial complex? Is there something deeper? I suspect there might be something deeper, but at least for sure, I think there is that. That's part of it. Is the arms dealers? They like this gravy train of profits from arms deals. They want to keep that going, and so that's I think part of the reason But yeah, it's just kind of perplexing. Why would they want to keep going with war when it doesn't need to happen, when there can be peace? Yeah, and there's other thing you never hear about in the mainstream media is that they were killing their own people. They're bombing their own people in the Donbass region for 8 years following the Maidan coup. Yeah, back in 2014. So 2014 to 2022, the Ukrainian military was bombing its own people in the Donbass region, just because the people in that region had shown allegiance to Russia, and so I mean, you go look back at the Iraq War. The whole reason that whole justification oftentimes in the propaganda for that war was because Saddam. They claimed the propagandists were claiming, oh yeah, he gassed his own people. If you can do that, oh, he's a monster. So that justifies war for some reason. But here, we're supporting the government with arms that was been bombing at their own and killing their own people for 8 years. Like 14,000 civilians were massacred by the Ukraine's military. They killed their own people. You don't hear about that though in the mainstream corporate media, because the corporate media, they're just Goebbels' war propaganda machine. They're part of the military industrial complex propaganda machine. You don't hear about that. They never have the support for aiding Ukraine if the masses in the United States knew exactly what was going on over there. If they got the whole story, so that's silenced. You don't hear about the whole story. YouTube kicked RT off. You could learn about that through RT, and it's not disputed either, even in the in the mainstream history and everything. Everybody recognizes, yeah, Ukraine is killing their own people for 8 years, and but of course that's why they voted. The people of the Donbass region voted to have themselves be annexed by Russia. They democratically voted for that. No wonder why. Of course they want to get annexed. They want to join Russia because their own country has been bombing them. It should not come as any surprise. But also in this whole package was included aid for giving military aid for Israel to continue massacring, continue the genocide of the people of Gaza. But supposedly also they're going to give aid to the people of Gaza. So yeah, that kind of reminds me of the episode of The Twilight Zone, How to Serve Man, where the aliens were. It was actually, here's spoiler alert, that How to Serve Man, that was the name of the cookbook, and they're serving man. We were being served up, and so they feed the humans so that they can serve them up as dinner to their fellow space aliens, and so that's what I think the U.S., if they're going to continue to give arms to Israel, while at the same time U.S. is also feeding the Gazans. It's like we're just keeping them alive long enough so that the Israeli government can massacre them. So that's really it's absurd. Why? How in what world does that make sense? It does not make sense at all to me. Except as a just to serve as a propaganda point. We're adding on as extra. We're going to aid give aid to the Gazan people, and also in that Israeli issue, the to keep a part of the propaganda is that supposedly Hamas are using the civilians as shields, civilian shields, but that does not hold water. That cannot be. They cannot claim that anymore, because the Hamas military, they're hiding inside the tunnels. They have tunnels underground. They don't need to go above ground at all to face those the missiles, the bombs, and the bullets of the Israeli Defense Forces. So all these deaths of the Gazans, civilians, that's basically they're all 100% are being targeted. The Israeli military are targeting civilians. There's no other way of putting it. The Israeli government Israeli military are trying to commit genocide. They're trying to eliminate the people of Gaza, and we are helping fund that through the bill that was just passed. That Angie Craig was waving the Ukrainian flag. Well, she was also effectively waving the Israeli flag, and she's effectively voting to continue the genocide of the people of Gaza. The Israeli military, they are targeting civilians. The Hamas military, they're hiding underneath in the tunnels. They don't need to use human shields. There's no need. They have this incredibly complex network of tunnels. There's no need for them to use human shields. The Israeli civilian, the Palestinian Gazan civilians, they're the ones being targeted blatantly and in open. There's the Israeli propaganda machine can no longer claim that the Hamas are using civilian shields. No, the IDF are targeting the Gazan civilians. They're trying to kill them They're trying to kill as many as they can. And that's wrong. We should not be supporting that. But Angie Craig apparently thinks we should be supporting the killing of the civilians in Gaza, because she voted for this package, and that's what that money is going to be put towards. It's going to be put towards killing innocent women, children, elderly folk, or mothers and fathers and toddlers, and that's what the Israeli military does. They try to kill as many civilians as they possibly can. The evidence is manifold, and I'm appalled that these so-called representatives are cheering to continue all these killings when instead of insisting on peace. And so I just wanted to say my piece and make my voice heard on this matter as an American citizen. So I guess that's all I have to say for now. And if you're still watching, thanks for watching.